Years ago, about 9 million light-years away from Earth, the planet Krypton was on the brink of destruction. This planet, due to the sprawling expansion of its cities, was falling apart, and the Krypton we see here is not like the peaceful sky cities often shown in movies or comics. Instead, we find a vast red city, filled with towering skyscrapers, advanced technologies, and ruled by ancient laws. These cities are controlled by a group known as the Clerics of the Science League, the most revered minds on Krypton. They harness energy from the red sun to supply fuel where it's needed, caring little for the impact on the cities or the planet as a whole. They wear the sun symbol on their chests and are part of the upper middle class ruling the cities. In the typical storyline, Superman's parents would be part of these rulers. However, in this universe, they aren't included among the elite and they themselves did not want to become rulers. In this universe, Superman's mother, L'Oreal, is an ordinary mechanic on Krypton. Since childhood, she was one of the top students in her class. Everyone believed that this child was destined to achieve great things. But one day, Lara criticized the Science League in a school essay, saying they failed to provide adequate support for essential interstellar missions. Because of this criticism, Lara was expelled from school and labeled as unruly. At that time, she was only 9 years old, and she had dreamed of becoming an astronaut. Now, as an adult, Lara is seen helping fix a man's harvester. According to her, her husband, Jor-El, has gone down to the mines again. This time would mark the 3,475th time he has done so, she says. But she also mentioned that this time, something didn't feel right. On Krypton, everyone's status was marked by the symbols worn on their chest. Those who wear the sun symbol are the high-ranking rulers, while those with the S symbol, like Superman's family, belong to the lower class, often referred to as laborers. Superman's father, Jor-El, wears this symbol with pride. He considers this symbol signifies the sons of the sun, people who built their lives with their own hands, calling themselves people of steel. Jor-El is seen as a leading engineer working on underground mining projects. He was a top student at the Science Academy, achieving perfect marks. A position and a job were waiting for him. But during his graduation speech, he criticized the Science League for their mistakes. He pointed out that their careless consumption of energy for economic gain and building tall structures was depleting Krypton's natural resources and could eventually lead to the planet's destruction. Because of this, he was thrown out of his graduation ceremony and he lost a position that had been within his reach. Continuing on, we see that while Jor-El is mining this time, he has a feeling of unease. Suddenly, they hear tremors from the underground mining site. Jor-El insists that for everyone's safety, they should conduct a thorough inspection before resuming mining. However, a higher-ranking official with a distinctive symbol on his chest commands, "Look at my chest, this is the League of Middle Management. Now get your people back to work immediately." At that moment, the ground erupts, releasing a substance resembling kryptonite acid from below. This substance flows towards Jor-El and his team, engulfing them. Due to years of careless energy use, the towering cities, the wind-swept redlands, purple farms, crystal-like mountains, and everything else on Krypton was doomed. In truth, Krypton had been deteriorating from within for years, and now, it was entirely destroyed. Meanwhile, on Earth in Brazil, workers are facing severe exploitation. The company Lazarus Corp forces them to mine diamonds, even in freezing conditions, using peacemaker soldiers with guns to intimidate the workers into continuing work. These workers continue to work for their livelihoods, for their families. Now, in the cold of winter, workers are entering the mine to continue their work. But once inside the mine, the workers are shocked to see the diamonds already mined and ready. Even the diamond cutting machine hadn't been used. Who could have possibly mined all these diamonds so quickly? The workers are puzzled, each forming their own conclusions. One worker claims, "This is a blessing from the gods," while another insists, "This doesn't make any sense, we need to tell someone." But one among them says, "No," urging everyone to keep quiet. "We came here to mine these diamonds, now that they're already mined, there's no need to tell anyone. Just take the diamonds, get paid, and let's leave." Immediately, the peacemakers are surprised and suspicious when they saw the workers coming out with the diamonds. "You heard about Botswana and Dharavi? Looks like it's happened again," one peacemaker says, overheard by a worker who then asks another, "Are the Omega Men real?" So, I think there are similar unsolved cases in other mines, and there are rumors spreading among people about unknown helpers, calling them the Omega Men. Not knowing Superman yet. The suspicious peacemakers surrounded the labor leader, Jor-El, and tortured him. They asked him who was helping them. Eventually, as they check the worker list, they discover that one person is missing. Now, the peacemakers from Lazarus Corp are on their way to find him. Actually, Superman had met with this worker leader just the previous night. Superman isn't an openly visible figure, instead, he remains hidden among people, operating in the shadows. He speaks to the worker leader. Without even revealing his face, how he can see the people, I mean his vision is also really cool. So now, the peacemakers have surrounded Superman's hideout. According to Superman, these Lazarus companies have established mining sites all over the towns, nations, and the entire world, enforcing brutal exploitation. He has also helped out in other sites in a similar way. As mentioned earlier, he has been helping anonymously, leading people to nickname him as the Omega Men. But this time, Superman has used sun energy more than he needed. So, he is now seen recharging with solar energy at his hideout. But before he finish, the peacemakers have already surrounded his hideout. Superman's suit suspends the solar charging process, initiating wake-up procedures, as the suit's voice is heard. The first peacemaker to enter is unlucky, as he comes face-to-face with Kal-El, aka Superman. Superman then begins to take down the other peacemakers. During the fight, solar energy glows from his arms and legs, making this absolute Superman look even more impressive. Superman asks the suit if the peacemakers will survive if he hits them. The suit's AI, named Sol, responds that yes, they could die, and advises him not to hit them to die. Sol means solar-operated life suit. The peacemakers are increasing in number, surrounding Superman and attacking him with high-tech weapons. The suit urges Superman to retreat and leave this place, but he refuses. He says, "These workers are in danger. I won't leave until they're safe." The suit responds, "This planet is filled with destructive devices, fanatic religions, and nuclear weapons. As long as these things exist, the people here will never be safe." It warns Superman, "If you stay here, you won't be safe either." Now, Superman's stored energy is running low, and more peacemakers are arriving. In the end, Superman decides to focus on helping those nearby. He rescues the workers and advises them to sell the diamonds elsewhere. At that moment, the suit calls out his name and warns him, but it's too late. Superman is hit with an electric attack. The leader of Lazarus Corp is watching Superman's fight from somewhere and orders his people to capture him alive. The computer confirms that this individual is indeed the one who attacked previous Lazarus Corp sites. But in the images, his face remains completely unrecognizable. It's the suit. His suit can change shape like living armor. Sometimes, he even talks to it, one agent comments. As more enemies surround him, Superman becomes more angry. Finally, he unleashes a power blast from his eyes. Unable to fully control this power, Superman accidentally harms a person. Seeing this, he stops and tells his suit to shut him down. The suit refuses, said that its mission is to protect the last descendant of the House of El. Don't risk your life for these people this world, it advises. Never forget the lesson of Krypton, it continues. Some worlds cannot be saved even from themselves. Superman finally agrees, but he is now completely drained of energy. Facing him is the entire military force of Earth, weapons pointed at him. He considers flying away but is suddenly cuffed by someone. The one who cuffed him is Agent Lane. In this universe, Lois Lane, traditionally Superman's love and a news reporter, is instead an agent of Lazarus Corp. She threatens him, "Move, and I fry your face," as she takes him into custody. In the credit scene, we also get a shocking reveal. Brainiac, one of Superman's villains, is the mastermind behind Lazarus Corp. And Jor-El, though he didn't die in the mine, telling his wife that Krypton is incredibly beautiful and that he wants to remember it, even if it gets destroyed. He also worries about and asks after his son. In future issues, we may see how Superman arrives on Earth and whether Lois Lane will continue to see him as an enemy, or will their paths eventually lead to the iconic partnership we know. This twist adds an intriguing layer to the story, leaving us wondering how this dynamic will play out. Absolute Superman is shaping up to be a fantastic series with a refreshing take on the Superman mythos. With themes of environmental care, social justice, and the classic battle against tyranny, this version of Superman feels both timeless and timely. If you're a fan of Superman or just love a good hero's journey, this is definitely a series worth checking out. Let us know in the comments what you think about this new take on Superman. And as always, stay tuned for more comic insights and epic recaps. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time as we dive into more superhero universes.